Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the third round of the Formula Roblox League World Championship. We're here for round 3 at Pirkanma during qualifying, as qualifying has just gone underway. We already got the train up ahead as we are looking on board from Zero Denial. Then we got Mochi, who is also not too far away from the Three Musketeers ahead of him. Tashamash also might be improving his lap time. He's in the third sector now, slower in sector 1, faster in sector 2. What is he going to do in sector 3? Also keep an eye out on FRL. Tash comes in. What's FRL going to do? 2 green sectors. He can really use an improvement to his lap time. What is he going to be doing? He jumps up to 10th place, respectable. Mochi going purple in the second sector. This could be interesting. He is it looks certain that he's going to improve his lap time. He negotiates the final corner well. Could Mochi surprise doesn't take pole position as he runs up to the line, and he goes fastest with a 1:14.8. Mochi snatches pole position in the last sector after what has been an exciting qualifying session once again in the FRL Division 1 Championship. Here we are lining up for the start of this race. Mochi in pole position, Andy Gaming the championship leader, the man who has won all 2 races so far this season. Starting in second place, Andy yet to take a pole position though, so only managed second, his best qualifying result being second place. But now let's watch the race start as lines have gone out. Everyone getting away nicely from the grid. With Mochi leading the pack heading into turn 1, missing the apex ever so slightly, which is allowing 2 cars to get past. Not a great start from Mochi. Andy Gaming and Zero Denial now very close together as they both want to try to get into the lead and get that clean air, because Dirty Air is certainly going to play a role around this track. As there's a lot of corners here that can barely take flat out. So if you get in Dirty Air, you're going to have to lift off for some corners, which I'm pretty sure is going to catch some people out during this race. So clean air is crucial. We already see one car running very wide. The black-pink car of Isomas running very wide. I think he just managed to keep it within track limits, not to get a severe slowdown. And so now we see 4 cars breaking away ever so slightly from the rest of the pack, with Zero Denial leading from Andy Gaming, from Zvet, and all that the Mochi, the pole sitter, having dropped a few places down to 4th place. With Tashamash trying to play catch-up in 5th place. Bill 12, Hartman, who seems to be struggling in the early stage of the race, in 14th, exchanging positions at the back, now moving up into 12th place, so close stuff at the back. Andy, who runs very wide, meanwhile, too wide, where there's a new slowdown zone if you run too wide there, which is different from the public game. It's because in previous seasons, you could run very wide there and barely lose time, but now you can't do that anymore. And in case you didn't know, the drivers have been informed about this way in advance. It's an update that has been published and announced at the start of the week, so all drivers should be aware of the changes that have been made to this track in order to enforce track limits. So unfortunately, Andy has become victim of that and finds himself down in 6th place, with Zvet currently leading the way, with Mochi right behind. Meanwhile, there's a battle going on for second place between Mochi and Zero Denial, heading into the fast chicane, nearly flat out in Dirty Air. You might have to lift off a little bit, or if you are on worn tires, got Mochi trying to get past Zero Denial. This is a very understeery corner, very tricky corner to get right. As Zvet, I think he made a mistake. Yes, he did, as this battle for second has now turned into a battle for first place, as Zvet lost a lot of time by making a mistake. Which has now promoted Mochi to first and Zero Denial to second. We've got a battle going on for 3rd place between Strider or Astro and Andy.
Astro trying to find a way through, but I don't think there's any way through. As Strider, he is actually gonna go into the hairpin. Down the inside he goes. Is he gonna do it? They're still going through each other, but it's hard to tell. But based on the leaderboard, Andy is still in 3rd place, as Strider's gonna get the slipstream of Andy going into turn 1.
just
Andy keeps his
keeping it.
position.
Just keeping him within track limits. He may have had a little bit of a worse exit, but he's staying ahead of Astro for now, heading into the chicane. It's great to see how close they can get to that inside wall without touching it. It's great driving.
It looks like Harmony, he's making a good recovery drive. He's now in 8th place as Jabil sets a personal for sector. Could he set a purple lane, or he's just gonna set a personal best as yeah, Andy and Astro still going at it, going into going uphill.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
Skylar,
Astro.
and Andy goes wide.
That's Astro gone, running too wide.
And Doge gets past Astro for 4th place as yes, Astro for a very big mistake right there.
Oh, Jabil's retired.
Oh
From
no,
P7.
Jabil has retired. Oh, looks like Andy has made 3 doors and I think he's made a mistake, so that's gonna allow Doge to get past Andy for 3rd place. And she's gonna try to fend off Doge, but I don't think that's possible because he just made a mistake. As Andy tries to go down the inside again, but he goes very wide. So another mistake made by the former world champion and the championship leader. Could this be a champion's curse? Because I noticed that the reigning world champions have a very bad season, while their rivals have a good one. So could this be a reigning champion's curse?
It could be, but I'm not sure what's going on with Andy. I mean, he has won last race again, making a mistake. What is for certain, I think, is he's not in a good flow right now. He keeps making mistakes, and I don't want to make assumptions. I don't want to make assumptions, but really seems he's ended up in this cycle, in this loop of making mistakes. There's this point where you're just not in the right mood after making mistakes, and that's when you get in a negative zone. Essentially, it's hard to explain, but I've experienced it in sim racing as well. Where if you start making mistakes, you're going to start thinking to yourself, please don't make another mistake, and that's where you go off out. You are no longer on autopilot, and that's when you become uncertain of when you turn into corners and how you take corners, and that's going to make you make more mistakes. I think that's something Andy might be in. Don't like to make assumptions. He was complaining about some lag earlier on this race, but doesn't look like his car is getting any sort of slowdown lag at least. So yeah, it's not one for sure.
And also Andy, I believe he's the only driver without a racing line. I don't think the car has the racing line on in the former Roblox game or in the FRL racing place. So yeah, it's pretty impressive of Andy to win the championship without any help from the racing line. So Andy trying to break the slipstream, and he has caught up to Doge already. So yeah, really impressive first sector for him. As they're going through the S's, is Andy gonna get Doge? No, he's not, but he's closing up ever so slightly, going into the left-hander, and he has to level quite a bit, and he goes past Doge for 3rd place. What a move by Andy. Oh, Andy!
Oh, he just avoided that slowdown. Got frighteningly close to another big slowdown, but that shows you can run a little bit wide, but not too wide. We see it. Wow, that's Avanti car running too wide. That's way too wide. So he's got a massive slowdown from that. That's going to cost him dearly.
I also saw Andy's car just went through the ground. That scared me quite a bit. You don't usually see that kind of things happen in the former Roblox game, or even in the as Andy goes wide, as I just mentioned about Andy's car going through the ground and then going back to normal again, as Andy, he does not want to give 3rd place up.
He's been passed by Svet, who remember has already made one pit stop, so maybe Svet is the right strategy with that 2-stop. He presumably is doing, as a lot of cars are yet to pit. We're past the halfway point. I'm surprised that a lot of people are yet to make their first pit stop of the race. And
Mochi, he could be showing why he is the division he could show why he is a Division 2 champion, as we see Tash and Doge squabbling out for 2nd place. As I see Doge go a little wide, Mochi, he is really closing in. ever so slightly, and I think he's in the slipstream. As Mochi goes purple, there's no surprise, but he has to lift off at the S's. You go at about 330 kilometers an hour, approximately. As Tash gets the corner card right there. That's gonna prove costly for Tash the Mash as he surrenders second place to Doge and surrenders third place to Mochi as well, as Mochi gets a red second sector, so he has also a lot of time. But can he get the dive bomb into the left-hander? Yes, he can. That's a huge dive bomb from Orlando Mochi. Really good move from Mochi as he goes up into second place. Could that be a faster slap despite the red second sector? Is it? No, it's not. So he has to go again. He has to go again.
Who else do we have towards the top? We've got Astro in third. In this race, he is in 6th place under the Strider V10 name. We've got ROBLOX in 4th, who is in 7th right now, holding the fastest lap, but also not really doing much. So the good thing for ND is that all his rivals are not doing that great either.
Except for Slide Eyes.
Except for Slide Eyes, who's doing alright in 2nd, but again, as you said, he's not going to gain too many points, so this seems to be, in the end, for Andy, this
Andy's got one position. And Zero sets the fastest lap with 114.8. I think that's about the same time as what Mochi has done, or it could be a few hundreds faster. Let me go and check.
Zero could still get 2nd here. He's only he's only about 3 seconds behind P2, which is currently Sedai, so and considering he's on fresh tires, Svet looked like he made a mistake. He's already going to get Svet for 3rd place here, going down the back straight, downhill.
He gets DSXDD for 3rd place, and he is showing why he is the former Division 3 European Cup champion. And can Zero fend off DSXDFD? Can he fend off the former Division 2 champion? Looks like he can fend off the Division 2 World Champion, but DSXDFD, he is not gonna give that up. As they go side by side, going through each other, going to the left-hander. Zero goes wide, and that's gonna allow DSXDFD to have a slight advantage of acceleration. But Zero keeps his but Zero keeps calm and collected, as Zero could well make the move stick as he go into turn 1.
Yeah, I think it's done deal for Zero. The next target for him will be Slanice, who's only 2 seconds up the road. I think he's going to get 2nd here, unless Mochi makes significant mistakes, because I think Slanice is also slowly closing in on Mochi, so yeah, who knows if Mochi can hang on to the win here.
Mochi was slow down, but I don't think that's gonna be enough for Zero to catch up and win the race.
That gap has come down quite a bit, hasn't it?
But then he instantly gains it back, so really impressive from Mochi.
I think Zero might have made a mistake as well, not too sure though.
So, yeah, as I can see Zero in the background, so Mochi better not make any more mistakes. If he makes one more mistake, who knows, Zero might be closing in and take the victory away from Mochi. So, as he is just about half a lap left, Mochi had his 2nd win in the FRL World Championship taken away because of that flip at New Jersey. But Mochi, he's just have 2 more corners to go. Going through the hairpin, he takes it well. Going through the final corner, the Mochi, he has taken victory in Finland. He wins round 3 of the FRL World Championship. Really great drive from Mochi. Zero Denial finishes in a strong 2nd place. Slide Eyes finishes on the podium, and he secures 5th place. So, Blaze Crab has just made a mistake, and that's gonna allow Bacons to get 9th place, and Blaze Crab is gonna finish the top 10. Harman, his first race in season 4, finishes 11th place in 11th. Seba, he's going to get the final points paying position. He's going to be in the final points paying position as he finishes in P12, and Axel's gonna be finishing in last place.
Yes, and that will conclude this race. Mochi with a very dominant drive in this race with Zero Denial. Good comeback to stop the injury work out for him, unfortunately. So he could not secure the win. And yeah, that will do it for this race.